What's up everyone, Tom from the Airsoft headquarters here, and I'm going to be rolling the intro just a little bit longer so YouTube doesn't flag any of the bad keywords that they don't like, because everything's bad and ugly in YouTube's eyes concerning this stuff. So, what are you laughing at?
This stuff.
Well, yeah, I can't say any of the bad words. I can't say any of the YouTube no-no words. Anyway, I think I've ran the clock long enough. So, what we're going to be talking about is going to be mounting the Midwest Industries rail systems to your license 416A5 that I have here. So what I did was, got the 416A5, said, you know what, rail systems are cool, Picatinny is awesome, but you know what's even cooler? M-Lock. Modular, streamlined, low profile M-Lock. And so that's what I did. And because it's all nice black Cerakoted, I thought it would look really, really cool if I did a cool two-tone look. So I'm still kind of building it all up. You guys can see it. But there's going to be a couple of key things that you're going to need to do in order to fit your Midwest Industries rail system onto your outer barrel assembly. So with the original 416A5 rail system, you could loosen it and literally slide the entire rail system off. With this Midwest Industries one, what you need to do is you need to take your barrel extension off. That sits on the very front of the gas block here. Just rotate that loosey-goosey until it comes all the way off, and that helps lock your gas block to the remainder of the outer barrel here. But you do need a special Allen screw to go in from the bottom, so there are 2 points of contact. There is the barrel extension, and then the small little Allen screw down the very bottom here. Once you've got that loosened up, now your gas block is going to come off, and then your adjustable gas block tubular system springy thing comes off. And from there, you can take your Midwest Industries rail system, slide it right over that outer barrel assembly, right over that barrel nut, locks into that upper receiver, and then from there you're going to hand tighten that locking screw. Jackson, why is it not going into place?
You just need to get good screw up.
Accurate.
Show the camera.
There we go. So there it popped through. Just had to apply a little bit of force, and then hand tighten it to that barrel nut. Now this is where you need to be careful. Your gas block, because of the Allen screw that's on the bottom here, the bottom of the rail system on the Midwest Industries is physically blocking that Allen screw off. So you won't be able to attach it. If you want to keep your fake gas block in, you can do so. Elite Force has made it to where it's adjustable, but it's fake adjustable because it doesn't actually change any type of gas pressure because it's a battery powered system, and thus it doesn't really do anything. But I like to keep it on there just for looks and giggles. So what you need to do is, when you have your gas block and you have it in place, assuming you got your gas rod positioned properly, make sure I drop it correctly. There we go. Now I should be able to take the gas block and slide it all the way along the bottom. Easy peasy. So because you can't access the bottom of that Allen screw with the rail system, it's physically impossible. You need to take your barrel extension and it needs to go back into place. So you need to take that barrel extension and start to thread it into place. That is going to allow your gas block to sit firmly against that rest of the outer barrel. So if I had my wrench still like a smart boy, I would be able to tighten it, but I'm only going to go hand tight. And then from there, since everything else is semi-locked in place with that rail system, you are now going to crank it down with the Allen screw that is provided by Midwest Industries in their awesome box. So just go ahead, crank that down. You don't need any of the special torque alignment tools that tell you exactly how much you're torquing down. Some people like that. Doesn't really matter. It's a real rail system going onto your toy gun. You don't need to go overly tight. And just like that, you have mounted your Midwest Industries rail system onto your license 416A5, in my case specifically. All right, so something to take note of with the Midwest Industries rail system is that there is that extension piece that locks into that upper receiver. And that's going to be a male locking into a female, and that just allows the rail system to lock even more securely into place. Something to keep in mind is with the upper receiver specifically, there is a cutout slot for you to utilize as a Picatinny slot. With the Midwest Industries rail system, the height of that extension is taller than the slot itself. So if you want to utilize that one slot, you do need to Dremel it down, that one little slot extension, for you to utilize, or with the abundance of other Picatinny slots that are available on the top rail system, maybe just don't utilize that one slot. You've got another 37 total slots along the top here. Just use one of those. And that is really it as far as locking down the rail system to your 416. It's as easy as that. It really is a very basic process, but there were just a couple of those hiccups that I think other people would need to be aware of before they go and mount it onto anything there. So with that, it's mounted. It's 100% mounted, and I've already utilized this in gameplay, and it's not going to torque out of place. It's not going to fall apart or anything like that. One thing that I will note is that there is a weight difference of only 2 ounces between the Midwest Industries rail system and the original RAS system that would come on this. Now, in the grand scheme of things, 2 ounces is not going to be a whole lot when it comes to minimizing the amount of weight that your rifle platform has overall, but it can help once you start to add all of those accessories, grips, grenade launchers, PEC boxes, zoom cameras, infrared lasers, just all of those extra accessories. Once you start adding that on there, it becomes a game of ounces to pounds and trying to minimize that as much as possible. One other thing is that the gas block cutout on the Midwest Industries rail system here is a little tighter compared to the original one. So if you were to move that gas block adjuster tool that would normally adjust the amount of gas going into that bulkier group, it is a little tighter, so it is going to make contact with the inside of that rail system there. That doesn't hinder any of the properties or the performance of the rifle system, but if you're trying to be like super stealthy and you're trying to adjust your gas block for whatever reason and it starts to make noise, then just be aware of that. And that's really it. Now, when it comes to this rail system specifically, I am wholeheartedly going to suggest you go to Midwest Industries, either their retail store, they've got a bunch of friendly staff, or you can purchase it on their website specifically. Unfortunately, what we have found in the last couple of days is that there are unlicensed or they're unlicensed because they are trademarked, but they're illegally trademarked clones that are available overseas. And they have the Midwest Industries logo on there. They are cut and sized exactly, from what we can tell, to this one specifically, but they're only available at half the total retail price compared to from Midwest Industries directly. This can be a beneficial factor for the airsofter side of things, where everyone wants to be as cheap as possible, save a couple of pennies, and in the instance where you're saving $100, that would lead to airsofters purchasing the illegal ones, the ones you don't want to use. And unfortunately, with the cut in price, and the drastic cut in price at that, you're going to be losing the quality of materials that go into manufacturing the real Midwest Industries rail systems. I utilize the real ones for several of my airsoft rifles, and I have some of my real ones. So obviously I just mounted the 416. I also have the MP5 Elite, and that's got the Midwest Industries rail system on there. I have the SIG MCX that also has the Midwest Industries rail system on there. I added that shortly after purchasing that. And then I have, so that's it for airsoft, my real rifle. as you can see there. This also has the Midwest Industries rail system on here. In fact, that was one of the first things I did when upgrading this rifle specifically, is change the not so cool polymer handguards out for a tactical Midwest Industries rail system. And I'm very happy with it. Great performance, really, compared to other types of rail system companies that provide a similar style of rail system. The Midwest Industries are going to be a cheaper option. So I would wholeheartedly suggest utilizing the real Midwest Industries rail systems and attaching them to whatever platforms you want, as long as it's compatible and will fit. But obviously, it's your money, your hobby. You can do whatever you want with it. So that is going to conclude the video. That is everything that I want to talk about. Quick before I go, not one to make announcements, but the Airsoft Arena that we are partnered with is going to be having a lights out game for Friday, June 25th. So if you guys are available then and you want to come down, it will be 3 to 11 o'clock where we have all of the overhead lights out. We're going to be utilizing just flashlights and tracers only. We'll be doing special games as well, creating different type of atmospheres, stuff like that. So we're going to try to make that as fun as possible. And that's it. If you guys do have any further questions about the Midwest Industries rail system and how to install it or performance, stuff like that, put it down in the comments section below. I'll do my best to answer each and every single one of those. But we are all done here. So you guys take care, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Bye.